everybody, I'm Miss Alicia from the Smithtown Library, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy and healthy chia seed pudding with just a couple of ingredients, and we're also going to be discussing some variations that you can try at home. Now, chia seeds can be found pretty much at any store these days. I tend to get them from the bulk bins at my local grocery shop. I just find that to be the easiest way. Now, chia seeds actually are loaded with nutrients and have very few calories, so they're easy to make a nice and healthy snack. Depending on what kind of other ingredients and sweetener that you use for it, you can make this a very healthy dish, and you also can make it super diet friendly. If you are dairy-free, gluten-free, whatever your needs are, you pretty much can tailor a chia seed pudding recipe to your needs. Now, chia seeds are great. They are a complete protein. 1 ounce of chia seeds actually contains 4 grams of protein and 11 grams of fiber, and a good chunk of the omega-3 fatty acids that you need in your day. So if you're gonna have a snack, it might as well be super healthy in addition to being super delicious. So today for this recipe, you will need chia seeds, at least 8 tablespoons of them. You also need a milk of your choice. I happen to have here 2 cups of coconut almond milk. I have a blend. You can use whatever milk you would like. You can use almond milk, regular milk. It doesn't matter whether it's skim, whole. It will be just fine. You'll need 2 cups of that. You're also going to need stirring utensils and a bowl. This recipe really couldn't get any easier. You also will need a sweetener of your choice. I chose to use a sweetened milk, so I will not be using a sweetener today. I do highly suggest stevia or pure cane sugar. So either is going to be just fine. If you're using granulated sugar, just be sure to mix well. If you have the option and would like to use a liquid sweetener such as agave or stevia, it's the same thing. Just make sure that your sweetener is well incorporated into the mix and it'll be just fine. So let's go ahead and start with making our original chia seed pudding. This is going to be the base of any of the variations that I'll discuss in a few minutes. It's very simple. So we're just going to take 8 tablespoons, my little measurer here. We're going to take 8 tablespoons of chia seeds. So I'm just going to measure those out. Okay. Once you have your chia seeds in your bowl, you're just going to take whatever 2 cups of milk that you have, and you're going to just slowly pour it in just so that you can mix well. You want to make sure that all of the seeds get covered. Okay. Make sure to scrape any extra seeds off the side. Any seeds that are not in the liquid are not going to become part of the pudding. All right, so everything is covered. You are going to put this into your refrigerator for no less than 2 hours. If you would like a slightly more runny pudding, you could leave it in there for just the 2 hours. Anytime in between 2 hours and about 10 hours is perfectly fine. I usually make this and leave it overnight. I find that it gets the best consistency. I tend to like a thicker pudding, but again, if you want it a little bit looser, you can just do a little bit less time. Now, this is actually all set. Let me show you what a finished product would look like. As you can tell, this is pretty, I don't want to drop it, but it's pretty thick. The mixture that we made today is going to get you 4 dessert-sized bowls of pudding. So the 8 tablespoons and 2 cups of milk will yield 4 servings. That's how you'll know how much is in each one. Now let's discuss a couple of different things that you can do with your chia seed pudding. One of my favorite ways to enjoy it during the summer is to make a blueberry chia seed pudding. Now what I do is I actually start my base with a 1/2 cup to a 1/4 cup of frozen blueberries. It must be frozen blueberries because the juice from the blueberries melting as the chia seed pudding is setting in the refrigerator is what's going to sweeten this one. So you're going to take your 1/2 cup, your 1/4 of a cup to a 1/2 cup of frozen blueberries, depending on how blueberry you want it. You're going to add your 8 tablespoons of chia seeds, your 2 cups of milk, and you're going to pop that into the refrigerator and let it meld together. You don't need to necessarily add a sweetener to this variation because it's going to be sweet enough from the fruit. I do happen to suggest, if you'd like to add a topping onto the blueberry one, I highly suggest shredded coconut or even toasted shredded coconut. It makes for a really nice summer dessert. Now the second variation I would like to talk about with the pudding is a caramel sea salt option. This will require a flavored stevia that can be found in almost every grocery store these days. So you will need to take a look for a caramel flavored stevia. They come in a little package of droplets. You'll take your chia seeds, your 2 cups of your chosen milk, and you're going to add 10 to 12 drops of caramel flavored stevia. You're going to mix that up and let it sit in the refrigerator again for between 2 and 10 hours, or 2 hours and overnight. And that's going to let everything come together, and you're going to have a caramel flavored chia seed pudding. When you want to serve the caramel pudding, I suggest doing a sprinkle of sea salt on top. That's going to give you a really nice caramel sea salt flavor. So that's a second option. If you're not into the fruit with the blueberry, then I suggest giving the caramel sea salt one a try. And now for my full fans, we do also have a pumpkin pie option to try out. We are heading into the last days of summer, so if you try some of the more summery options and you want to take your chia seed pudding into fall, we do have the option to make it pumpkin pie. So you can take your 2 cups of milk. For the pumpkin pie one, I do suggest almond milk, and I'm also going to suggest that you use vanilla almond milk. So 2 cups of vanilla almond milk, and you're going to take 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin puree, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 5 tablespoons of chia seed. I'll explain that in a second, but 5 tablespoons of chia seeds, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Mix that all together and then put it into a container to set in the fridge. So the reason that we upped our chia seed ratio to 5 for this recipe is that the pumpkin puree actually adds more wet ingredients, so we need more seeds in order to soak up all that liquid and to become a thicker consistency. Now, when your pumpkin pie chia seed is done setting in the fridge, you're going to want to top it with some more cinnamon, and I highly suggest topping it with chopped pecans. So now that we've mixed everything up and we've talked about quite a few of the variations that you can do, I would love to hear from you if you would like to let us know in the comments down below what type of chia seed pudding you're going to give a try. There's of course always the tried and true classic. You can just stick with the original recipe, see how you like it, or just top it with some fresh fruit. But if you do try any of these variations or other ones, give us a little shout out, let us know. Thank you so much for joining me today. We can't wait to see you again soon. Please continue to visit the library's website at www.smithlib.org for more programs and resources. Have a good one.